So you just turned 40, or you're creeping toward it like a silent debt collector, and suddenly you're Googling phrases like, how to not die broke, or am I financially allergic to adulthood? You're not alone. Because at 40, something shifts. Like, you realize that ramen noodles aren't a personality trait, and living paycheck to paycheck no longer feels bohemian, it just feels stressful. And let's be real, if you don't have at least a vague idea of what a 401k is by now, it's time we had a talk. Not the birds and bees talk? No, this is the budget and bankruptcy talk. But don't worry, I'm not here to bore you with compound interest charts and the magic of index funds, okay? Actually, I am, but I'll do it with jokes, a bit of sarcasm, and zero lectures that sound like your accountant dad reading from a tax manual. Let's go. Welcome to the 7 Rules of Finance You Should Know by 40, aka the handbook your high school should have handed out instead of that plastic recorder in music class. These aren't Wall Street level finance hacks or crypto bro manifestos. These are street smart, sarcasm-laced real-life rules for adults who'd like to retire before their spine gives out. Whether you've made some money mistakes or you still think dividends are a type of shampoo, this video is your no BS guide to getting your financial life together without falling asleep mid-video. Let's dive into rule number 1. Rule number 1, pay future you first. You know that voice in your head that says, I'll save whatever's left at the end of the month? Yeah. Tell that voice to sit down and stop lying. Because spoiler alert, there is never anything left at the end of the month. It's like waiting for the tooth fairy to pay your student loans. Here's the golden rule. Pay yourself first. Translation, before you throw money at Amazon, DoorDash, or that subscription you forgot to cancel 11 months ago, you need to send some cash to future you. Invest it, save it, lock it away like it's in witness protection. Think of it like this. Every dollar you save today is a tiny employee working for future you, while every dollar you spend on overpriced lattes is basically setting that employee on fire. Build an emergency fund. Contribute to your retirement. Funnel a percentage into investments. It doesn't have to be a huge amount. Even 10% is fine to start. The key is you come first. Not Netflix, not Zara, you. Because 20 years from now, future you will either thank you or be living in your cousin's basement. Rule number 2, debt is dessert. Tiny slice, never the meal. You wouldn't eat cake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? Okay, maybe once during a breakup. But in general, you don't live off dessert, and that's exactly how you should treat debt. Debt is sweet, tempting, and ridiculously easy to binge on. Credit cards, buy now, pay later, 0 interest for 24 months that suddenly becomes 29% overnight. They're all dressed up like candy, but it's financial diabetes. So what's the smart move? Use debt sparingly, with a plan, and ideally only when it's helping you build something valuable, like education or real estate. Not because your emotional support water bottle needed a designer tote bag. And if you're already swimming in debt, that's okay, but it's time to drain the pool, not install a diving board. Start with the highest interest balances and work your way down, snowball, avalanche, whatever method works for you. Just don't ignore it, because interest compounds like regret. Treat debt like a decadent dessert. Enjoy a bite if you must, but don't make it your lifestyle. Your future self wants a house, not a hangover. Rule number 3, buy assets, not flexes. Let's play a game. Would you rather have $10,000 in stocks or $10,000 in designer sneakers? No judgment, but only one of those will be worth more in 10 years. And it's not the Yeezys. Here's the truth. Rich people buy assets. Broke people buy flexes. Assets are things that grow in value and/or generate income like stocks, real estate, businesses. Flexes are things that depreciate faster than your attention span during a Zoom meeting, like luxury watches, the latest iPhone, or a car you can't afford but posted on Instagram anyway. Now, this doesn't mean you can't enjoy life, but every time you choose a flex over an asset, you're basically saying, I want strangers to think I'm rich, even if my bank account is screaming. The people who really win at money are the ones who quietly collect assets while everyone else collects likes. So next time you're about to drop a small fortune on something that screams, look at me, ask yourself, will this thing make me money or just make me look like I have money? If it's the latter, put it back, then buy a share of something boring and profitable. That's the real flex. Rule number 4, emergency fund equals adulting's cheat code. An emergency fund is like an emotional support animal, but for your wallet. Because here's the truth, life will sucker punch you at least twice a year. Car breaks down, medical bill, Boss decides your position is being restructured? Yeah, all that. Enter the emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses chillin' in a boring savings account like the responsible adult you're becoming. This isn't fun money. This isn't vacation fun. This is break glass in case of life money. Why? Because swiping your credit card to solve emergencies is like using gasoline to put out a fire. Congratulations, you just paid $600 for a $200 flat tire, plus interest. Build the fund. Protect the fund. Worship the fund like it's Beyonce on a budget. Because when life gets messy, and it will, this little stash gives you options. And options are financial power in sweatpants. Rule number 5, inflation is a silent roommate. Charge them rent. Inflation is that sneaky little gremlin who eats your money while you sleep. You don't see it, you don't hear it, but somehow your grocery bill is now the same price as your childhood family vacation. Inflation never calls, never texts, just shows up, raids your pantry, and charges you more for less, like a terrible Airbnb guest with a shopping addiction. So what do you do? Simple. Make sure your money is working harder than inflation. That means investing it, not letting it rot in a checking account earning 0.0003% interest. Inflation averages 2-3% a year. So if your money isn't growing at least that much, it's shrinking. Think of inflation like a lazy roommate. If you're not charging rent via interest, dividends, or growth, then you're just financially subsidizing their freeloading existence. Make your money work, or inflation will work you. Rule number 6, track every dollar because numbers don't ghost you. Want to know why your money keeps disappearing like socks in the dryer? Because you're not tracking it. If your financial strategy is vibes, manifesting, and maybe it'll be fine, then congrats. You're budgeting like a poet in a thunderstorm. Here's the deal. Money doesn't lie. It doesn't ghost you. It doesn't say we're still figuring things out while secretly moving in with Starbucks. Every dollar needs a job. Every expense needs a name. Because if you don't tell your money where to go, it will wander off like a toddler in a toy store and come back crying. You don't need a spreadsheet that rivals NASA. Just use an app or a journal or a whiteboard with passive-aggressive Post-its. Whatever works. The point is, clarity creates control, and control beats chaos 100% of the time. Especially when your rent is due and your account balance is doing jump scares. Track it, own it, and sleep better. Rule number 7, career capital greater than salary chasing. Ah yes, the temptation. Quit your job for one that pays $7,000 more, but also steals your soul, sanity, and Saturdays. Let's talk about career capital, the secret currency of long-term wealth. It's not just what you earn. It's what you learn, who you meet, the skills you sharpen, the experience you build. It's leverage. Jumping job to job just for the money? That's playing checkers. Building career capital? That's playing chess with bonuses. When you invest in yourself, your skills, your network, your craft, you become harder to replace, more valuable, more promotable, more free. That dream salary won't mean much if your job is toxic, your growth is stagnant, and your LinkedIn looks like a roller coaster. So ask yourself, is this role building my capital or draining it? Am I gaining tools for the future or just clocking in for a paycheck and a headache? The richest people in the room didn't just chase money, they built capital. The money came later and stayed. Now, if you enjoyed this and you're ready to keep adulting like a legend, go ahead and hit that like button like it owes you money. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video that tells you how not to go broke by Thursday. And drop a comment. What's one finance rule you wish someone had smacked you with at 25? Thanks for watching, and remember, broke is a phase, but financially clueless, that's optional. Catch you in the next one.